Okay, let's start it. Introduction. Amy and I took this trip with 8 of our friends at the end of April 2015. The reason why I put this PowerPoint is to try to exercise my brain so that I don't have to go to QuickView that soon.
Right.
Yeah, so that's good. I did learn a lot in preparing for this presentation. Okay, this tour was offered by XXX. They don't want me to advertise, but actually we took it with Smart Tour.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, seems like they have a reasonable price, and the itinerary seems to be the best for us. So we had them. We are very happy with them anyway. The trip included 12 buffet breakfasts and 7 dinners, and the price right now is listed over there. In this presentation, I will follow our itinerary of our tour to present you some interesting things and facts about and pictures of each location that we visited. Okay. First of all, the currency in Croatia is called kuna. $1 is equal to 6.86 kuna in 2015. It's about pretty close right now also. And our tour guide's name is Adriatic. He's very knowledgeable. He can easily be a history professor of the area, very familiar with the politics and the history. So he talks all the time. His mom was a super Elvis Presley fan. That's why she named him Elvis. Here's the guy. This is tour guide. This guy, very nice guy. Okay. This is a map showing the route that we took. We flew from Philadelphia via Amsterdam, and then we flew into Zagreb. We stayed there for 2 nights, and then visited Ljubljana, and then Lake Bled, and then the Postona Caves. And there's a castle very close to Postona Cave. It wasn't on the itinerary, but we knew about that. So we asked our guide, can we go there and take a look? And he said, okay. So we did do that. And then we stayed at Opadia for 2 nights and visited the 2 town here. And this kind of covered the part 1 area of our talk. The second part, we'll talk about this next month. So if you have time, do come and join us. I'm not going to spend time on this. Okay, here's the highlight of the tour. Again, this PowerPoint will be uploaded to the club's website, so I don't have to spend time reading all this through, okay? So I'll show you a picture and some story behind all this location anyway. Okay, let's start it. Oh, before we start it, just show of hand, how many people has gone through this area? Wow, there's a lot of people. So how many are planning to go in the near future? All right. Oh, good. Yeah, for those that have been there, it's a good refresher for you. And for those thinking of going, it'll be something for you to look forward to. It's a very nice area to visit. Okay, let's go. Zagreb. Zagreb is the capital of Croatia. Population 209,000 in the city area, and about 1.1 million in the urban area. And it's listed in the UNESCO Register as a World Heritage Architectural Heritage. And this city is known as City of Museum because it has tons of museums in there. There's a Nikola Tesla Museum, Archaeological Museum, Zagreb Museum, and even have a museum of broken relationships. So you can see there are museum of arts and crafts and all that stuff. Here's a city model of Zagreb, and our hotel is located in this area. And this is the upper old town that we will mainly be visiting the following day. And this particular one is the Zagreb Cathedral and the Adriatic Square. I'll show you later. Okay. This picture showing our hotel. This particular one is Sheraton Hotel. We stay there for 2 nights. All the hotel we stay in is about maybe a 4-star hotel. It's a very nice hotel. And the picture showing us we have a welcome dinner. And then we got there in the afternoon, so we have time to walk around the city. And as it turned out, the city is also should be known as City of Graffiti. Because graffiti, every building. Yeah. And our tour guide said they were drawn by the college student. Yeah. But however, the streets are very clean. No garbage anywhere. You can see. So I don't mind the graffiti. It actually adds some artistic feature to the city. Okay. And then we have time to walk around the area close to our hotel. This particular one is the Art Pavilion. And then behind this building is this square, the King Tomislav Square. This is the king sitting on a horse. And then in this direction is this train station, the Zagreb train main station here with a nice fountain and so forth. And this particular one is the National Theater close by. So it has some kind of fountains in front. Here's an aerial view of the lower part of the upper old town. This is the Jurassic Square. It's a more common meeting place in Zagreb. It has some kind of farmers market or flea market going on here, and so as in this area. And this Zagreb Cathedral has gone through a lot. It was built in 1224 or something. It's up there. But it's gone through a lot because it was destroyed by the Mongols in 1242 and then rebuilt a few years later. At the end of 15th century, a wall was built around the cathedral to protect against the Ottoman invasion. And then later on, earthquake damaged it in 1880 and then subsequently rebuilt. Okay, so right now, while we were there, they were repairing one of the tower because the church is built with sandstone and it can easily be damaged by rain and the weather. So they are working on it. This picture showing the upper old town area. Here's the tour guide would guide us walking around this town, looking at statues and buildings and stuff like that. And this particular one is the St. Mark's Church. I'll show you a picture later. And then the Cannon Tower, and then the Museum of Broken Relationship is right there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's the picture of Zagreb Cathedral. Pretty good looking one, pretty big. And the altar area, and then at the other side is the organ up at the second level. So the next picture is the St. Mark Church and the bell tower. It was built in 18th century. On the roof, the tile were laid in 1880. On the right side is the coat of arms of Zagreb here. And then on the left is the Trini Kingdom of Croatia, Slavonia, and Dalmatia on the left. And this is our local guide, the lady holding the flag, explaining the history behind the church. And the picture showing the cannon tower that I showed you earlier. There's a cannon at the top window here. It would fire the cannon every day at noontime. It gives the signal exact noon for the bell ringer of the city's churches. So once they hear the cannon, they will all ring their bells. So there's a cannon, boom, like that. And then the tower is built in 1266. These crosses are for reinforcing the buildings against earthquakes. So they will. There are quite a few statues in the upper old town. This particular one is St. George and the dragon. Here's the dragon. It looks like an anaconda, you know. There's a story behind it. For about around 4th century time, St. George, he is a soldier in Christianity, defeated the dragon. The story goes that the dragon originally extorted tribute from the villagers. And when they ran out of livestock and trinkets for the dragon, they start giving up human to be a tribute once a year. It was acceptable to the villagers until a princess was chosen by lottery. So this guy, St. George, upon rescuing the princess, he injured the dragon with his lance, and brought the dragon back to the village and offered to kill the dragon if they consent to be a Christian. So actually 15,000 men and the king did. So George killed the dragon with his sword. So they built a statue in memory of him, and with the anaconda at the bottom. This particular statue is the Croatian Army General Joseph Jelačić. He is from 1801 to 1859. It's the square that most people meet in this area. There's a general position on horses statues. In general, this is true, but horse with one leg up like this guy, he wounded in the battle. Horse with both legs up, that means the rider died in battle. And a horse with 4 legs on the ground, the rider died in natural causes. And then if the rider dismounted standing next to the horse, then they both die in battle. So in general, this is true. What?
Closer to the mic.
Oh, all right. Sometimes it's pretty ugly. So anyway, that's the general rule for horse statues, but not absolutely true in every case. Okay. The other very famous Croatian citizen is Nikola Tesla, 1856 to 1943. His invention of alternating current make a big impact on the world of electricity. So all we use is mainly AC current. And he has over 100 US patents. And first hydroelectric power, first X-rays, and in America. But however, he wasn't a good businessman. So he died poor in a hotel in New York in 1943. There's a funny story between Tesla and Edison. Edison hired him in 1884 to work on his project of the DC direct current system. But After Tesla finished the project, Edison refused to pay him. So Tesla quit and worked on his own AC system, which he thinks is a lot better. So Edison then went after Tesla using every means possible to destroy his reputation. And he even hired high school boys to catch dogs and cats around his lab and kill them with AC current to show people that how dangerous AC is for household usage. But however, ironically, Edison designed the electric chair using AC to kill criminals. So Edison doesn't seem to be too good a guy. All right. So after the tour, we did have lunch in the Upper Old Town area, and after the Upper Old Town, the bus took us back to the hotel, and we rest up a little, and then our group walked back to the Old Town and have dinner in this restaurant because we had checked out the menu earlier. So here's a picture showing we had dinner there. My friend, my high school classmate, Stewart, he didn't order. He said he wasn't hungry. However, he was trying to steal food from his wife while we were taking pictures. So, all right. Yeah. Okay, so the next morning we visited one of the point of interest in the city is the Miracle Cemetery. It was opened in 1876 and owned by the city, and they accept every religion's burial over there. So, and we did walk around there. It's very quiet, a lot of trees, because usually our tour guide said if we come maybe in June or July, August, this will be packed, the area. So we went right at the end of April and early May, so before the tourist season. So we have a nice quiet area to walk around. A lot of trees, and then there's the corridor here. Also have a lot of burial site on either side of it. This picture shows the tomb of the first president of Croatia, Franjo Tuđman. It's 1922 to 1999. Okay. So after we finished the tour of the cemetery, we got onto the bus and we drove to Ljubljana, this old town, along the river, Adriatic River. Here's the old town area, and it's the capital of Slovenia. Population 280,000 people. University of Ljubljana is the buildings are all scattered around and on this side of the river, and the bus dropped us off at the administration building here, and then we walk to this Personoff Square, and then we walk across the Tri-Bridge here. There's 3 bridges actually here, and then to this old town area and move around, look at the shops, and find a restaurant. This is a restaurant that we had lunch at. I'll show you later. This is the castle up at the hilltop there. Show you a picture. That's the castle up at the hill. It's built in 15th century, defense against the Ottoman attack. It's the administration building where the bus dropped us off. And right around the Personoff Square is this concert hall built in 1701 when Bach and Stradivarius still alive, you know. And this particular church is Franciscan Church, 16th century, and the river around the old town area. And actually, you can take a boat ride to sightsee the old town, but we didn't have time to do that. So So we just walk around this part of the area. This is the robot fountain with the overlap. This one is actually a replica of it. The real one is in the city museum. So that's a restaurant that we had lunch at right there next to it. And then I will show you a porcelain shop, very famous one right there. Okay, further down the road is this Ljubljana Cathedral. And then right across the bridges is this very famous Slovenia poet, Franz Fresnel, 1800 to 1849, so only 49 years old. Okay, a picture showing we are ready to go in there for lunch. And that's the entrance of the restaurant. And I took this picture at the rear of the restaurant. Our group is sitting right there, have lunch. And one of the famous on the menu is this mushroom soup. It's in a gigantic bread bowl. Very tasty. So it's good enough for lunch, just by the soup. But some order some other dishes. This particular one is a beef dish. Very homemade kind of cooking. Not expensive at all. It's about, this one is maybe $15 US dollar or so. This is the very famous porcelain shop called Porcelain Cabrillo. It's a top quality porcelain, world famous. As a gift from the Slovenian president, Queen Elizabeth II received a tea set of this Cabrillo porcelain on her visit to Slovenia in 2008. But we didn't go in there because we didn't have money to buy those expensive porcelain. So here's a picture on the window showing Queen Elizabeth, and she was accepting the tea set. So, and then after we have finished lunch and look around the old town, we sit under that statue and have some ice cream waiting for our bus to take us to Lake Bat. It's a picture of Lake Bled. It's a Slovenia resort town in the foothill of the Julian Alps here. The town is in this area. Population is about 8,000 people. And amazingly, this is the only natural island in Slovenia. Can you believe that? And then there's a castle on the north shore that we will be visiting also. So it's very scenic. This particular picture I took from a magazine's cover in the city. So it looks so nice. I don't have to fly up there, So I took a picture of that. Okay, it's a picture of the hotel that we stayed in Bled, called the Goel Hotel. 2 nights there. And the same hotel, but that day it was kind of cloudy. And the picture showing Amy having breakfast in the dining area. All the hotel has very good buffet breakfast. So you really fill it up with breakfast. And this particular picture shows the very famous Lake Bled cream cheese pastry. So if you go there, you got to try this. Very fluffy, very tasty, not that expensive. And then there's some Coke you can drink also. All right. That's a picture showing the island, Lake Bled Island, with the pilgrimage church of Assumption of Maria on the island. And there are some boats that you can actually take to go from the shore onto the island and walk around. But we didn't do that because we didn't have time to do it. Instead, we walk around the lake. So here's Amy and one of my classmates. We walk around the lake. It's about 2.5 miles. Very easy walking, so very pleasant. And the fishermen fishing right in front of the castle. I kind of wonder what it would look like in the fall time because there's so many trees around. So I dig up on the internet a picture of Lake Platte in the fall. So you can see that very scenic with the foliage going on. So if you go there, you go during the fall time, it's even prettier. Okay, that's the castle. Yeah, and a picture of very calm water, reflection of the castle. This is the oldest castle in Slovenia. And now it houses a museum, and the back here, the building is a museum. And then the chapel, a little chapel in front of this area. And then a print shop, actually a working print shop next to this tower area. While we were having dinner in our dining room, I saw some UFO flying over the cathedral, the castle. So I took a picture of that. And after they are gone, they're looking so calm and everything, with spotlight shining onto the castle. But actually, there wasn't flying saucers. They were the ceiling light of the dining room reflection. But it looked funny, so I took a picture of that. So it can be a flying saucer. So okay, the next morning we took a tour of the castle, and here's a model of the castle. Bus park over this parking lot here, and then walk through the gate. Here and up the stair and up to the lower courtyard area, and there's a well on the lower courtyard. I don't know how deep they have to dig through the rock to get water, but somehow they get water. Okay, and the print shop is right here next to the tower here, and then there's a winery underneath the museum building, and then there's the chapel is right here, and then the upper courtyard. So we did look around, and this picture is the print shop. You go into this from this door, and inside there's a guy doing the demonstration for us. Actually, it's a working print shop, so they do a lot of printing, I guess, for the local people. It's very interesting, yeah. And then the museum has a lot of weaponry stuff and armor exhibited, and then a lot of pottery and this artifact from that century displayed. And the chapel that I mentioned is this little chapel with the altar, the window. And on the other end is this construction here. There's no organs in this little chapel. But the walls are all painted pretty nicely. So, very good looking chapel. Okay, here is a picture of the cathedral toilet. Okay, there's a toilet here. It's not a flushing toilet, okay? So that's why typically the toilets are next to the outside wall. So you can open up the little window and air out the smell. But remember this part. The toilet and the castle are usually on the outside window. It will come back to you later. Okay, and this is a wine cellar underneath the museum building. During the day that we visited, there were some rowing races going on the lake. They rowed the boat. There's a bunch of boats here. I guess it's tough to see from this island all the way to the city on the other end. and this close-up of one of the rowboats that they are rowing. So, okay, after that we went back to the hotel and had lunch, and then we have afternoon free. So our friend told us a couple of places that we should go visit from the previous tour. And he said we should go visit the Lake Bohin area as well as Wingard Gorge area, which is pretty close to Black here. Black is right located here, the Lake Black. Lake Bohin is about 10 miles southwest of Black. And Wingard Gorge is about 3 miles north of it. So here's a picture showing the area of the Lake Bohin. This is the lake, and then we hike up to about a mile up the hill to this waterfall. And then we went back down and moved around the shore of the lake. And then we drove back to the hotel and then go to Lake Wingard Gorge. The gorge, this trail went along the river, or rode over the river, and it's very scenic. Actually, you can cross the bridge and then walk back this way as a loop. But since it's so pretty, we just walk back the same old way to enjoy the scenery one more time. So, okay. Here's a picture showing the hike up to the waterfall. It's very pretty with a lot of trees. When we went, it was springtime, so everything is green. And so if you go to the area in the falls with the tree changing color, it's probably very pretty. Yeah, this fall is about 100 feet tall, and then it fell down to onto the rivers. After the hike, we went back down to the lake, and Amy stood in front of this deer statue, took a picture, and this is the church right next to the lake. At that time, since it wasn't a tourist season, so it was very quiet, very tranquil, very pleasant. And this is our local guide, Eva, and a van that we went on this outing. Took 12 of us in the van. And so after that we went to this Wingard Gorge trail, go along the river with the water rushing, very pleasant. It has this wooden walkway built along the river here and against the cliff. So it's Amy here walking along the walkway with water rushing. And this is a picture showing the rock jam with a big rock here. And Amy didn't wait for me, so she just kept on walking. I have to take pictures, see. But it's very scenic, very pleasant. Yeah, again showing the walking trail along the edge of the cliff. And this is a bridge that crosses over the river, and you can look back to the parking lot. But we didn't do that because it was so pretty here. We want to experience this once again. So we walked back the same old way. But this bunch of girls were too lazy to come down to look at this fall. So I had to rush down and take some picture with them waving at me. You know, that's Amy waving at me. Yeah. So we walked back the same old way, enjoyed the scenery once again. It was the most enjoyable trail that we had on. Oh. So if you go there, you got to visit here, this place. The half-day tour for us, hiring the local guy and the van, was not that expensive. Each one maybe $20. So it's well worth the money. Yeah. but it wasn't on the official itinerary, so it should, Okay, so while we were doing the hiking, we asked our local guy, Eva, what's a good local restaurant that the local people would go to? So she said, oh, go to Mocha. Okay, so we went there. It's about 10-15 minute walk from our hotel. So we have dinner over there. This picture showing some of the dishes that we ordered. I ordered a bowl of beef noodle soup, right? Thinking that maybe that big, right? Let's come up that gigantic bowl with a lot of noodles. It can easily be a meal, So I shared with Amy. And some of the other dishes with the sausage here and the pork here and rainbow trout. And it's not expensive. Very homemade kind of meal. About $15, again. So well worth the money. Okay, the next day then we drove to this cave called Projonia Cave. It was discovered in the 17th century, opened to the public in 1819. But somehow the graffiti inside was dated to 1213. So people has been in the cave for a long time, okay? But the German used the cave as a fuel depot during World War II. However, in 1944, the Slovenian people destroyed 1,000 barrels of aircraft fuel. And the barrels burned for seven days, destroying a large section of the cave and blackened the entrance. So I didn't show the picture here, but the entrance is all blackened by smoke and fire damage. However, the electricity was added on in 1884, and then in 1872 they laid some tracks in the caves so that some train can take the tourists to visit the cave. However, you don't want to be a guide during that time because the train was pushed by the guy. So later on they used a gas locomotive at the beginning of 1900, and now they use electric train. So that's more environmental safety. It houses a world's only underground post office. So you can mail your postcard inside there. It's a pretty large cave, one of the largest in Europe. The whole tour took about 2 hours. 2/3 of the way is by train, and then a guide led us for the remaining 1/3 of the tour.